Nothing's come through. Oh, got it.
Another excellent day in the mighty south. It's supposed to be a high later on of about 24, 25 or something. So that's not too bad. And just before the rain that's supposed to appear and cooler temperatures Thursday, Friday. And having checked the forecast, a heavy rain down here is about 0.3 of a millimetre.
No, well, you should pop over to the west coast.
We could do with a bit of rain. She's a bit dry here.
Yeah.
In fact, it
We're
was
the same.
so dry. I've had to put one of my beasts in the freezer.
Keep them cool.
Exactly. Yeah, there wasn't enough tucker for him, so now he's been turned into steaks and things. So good to see you, Frank. How's it going in the north?
Yep, pretty good up here. We had a pretty good day as well. Nice fine day. I've seen about the weather heading your way. I don't know if it's heading this way or not, but we definitely need rain up here. That's for real.
Yeah.
The old grass is getting a bit dry.
Apparently it's the changes for the east coast. It's going to be drier and wetter on the west. So who knows? I have to replace my cows with sheep.
I've just borrowed someone's. Eating my grass down at the moment.
Good on you.
Yeah, well, I haven't got any at the moment, and so I needed some in a hurry.
All right, so we'll kick into this week's chat. Apart from the weather, so last week we sent out a couple of bits of information about Chris Pink, the Minister of Veterans Affairs, his views on what he hopes to achieve while he's in office. So that, I think, was the Herald article. And we also had a little clip of him talking to Jack Tame on Sunday morning, I think.
Sunday, yep.
Sunday morning. So
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning. It was a little bit of information. So we'll leave you to form your own opinions about what he's saying. And I'm sure you've got some little dip there hiding away, Frank, about what you've seen and read.
Yes, well, it was interesting to notice that he did give the hospital pass to the Chief of Defence Force on who was responsible for changing the VDF, the independence program.
Yeah.
He was quick to do that, I noticed.
Oh, well, there you go. He may be an ex-service person, he may be a submariner, he may not be a veteran in New Zealand, but he is also a lawyer and a politician. So
is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think it's his brother and his father, lawyers as well.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Right.
You know what they say about lawyers, don't trust them.
We're trying to talk to him about some pro bono work. Is that what they call it?
So there you go. Just to keep you updated with what's happening, and there's more information rolls out of Veterans Affairs and about the VIP program and so on. We'll keep posting stuff so you can keep a good eye on it. The other thing is that if you have received the letter, it may be the best way to do this is for us to put a poll up. We'll run a poll. Have you received a letter from Veterans Affairs about the VIP program if you're in the queue? We don't want your name, details, that kind of thing. We just need to get some numbers as to how many people are affected, and that might be backed up with a request to Veterans Affairs to let them see if they've got the numbers for how many people nationally are going to be affected by closing off the applications for 12 months.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I was talking to my lawn mowing man at the rugby on the weekend and said to him, I haven't seen you for a while. And he says, oh, no, he says, it's all changing. And I said, what's changing? Oh, the payments and all that for the VIP program.
Oh.
I said, well, as far as I know, I still get it. And I'm operational service. You should
Yeah.
be mowing my lawns. He said, "Oh, I'm not mowing any lawns at the moment until I hear what's happening." So that's something I've got to follow up.
Okay, so that's not only affecting the former service people, but also those who are serving us in a sense by
Yeah.
supplying the service. Okay, that's interesting, Frank.
Yeah.
Here's another little one. I just gleaned this off another site, or could be a week or so ago, and it reminded me, I think, once or twice before. This is more on a personal nature. If you're a former service person, dependent upon your age, you need to consider succession planning. So I don't think any of us are going to last forever. We're all slowly wearing out, but we need to think of how we're protecting the assets that we have managed to accumulate, over our lifetime. And so pop along and you can go to who was it? The Public Trust. And if you were a former serviceman, I think around the time I served, prior to going to Singapore, there was a lot of come in and under the Public Trust and fill out the forms, giving away your worldly goods, which in the 1970s wasn't very much. But now you've got families and grandchildren and all those sorts of things. So you've got to look after the assets and get some advice about enduring power of attorneys. In case of things like poor health, you can get someone to look after your finances and someone to look after to make the decisions around your health. So good perhaps to have, if you've got, one person in the family looking after the finances and another one looking after the health, or combining for one of the two of them. So there's a number of options. If you need pretty good advice, go and visit a lawyer, have a chat to them, and they'll help you work that through. Family trusts used to be a big thing, but they have been challenged in the courts recently, so they're not standing up as much as they used to, but there's still an option available to you. So here we go. There's a little bit of free advice.
Yeah, because I fell over when I got my bill from my lawyer.
Yeah, it ain't cheap. It ain't cheap. So the other thing, next Thursday, so not this week, but next week, there's an executive committee meeting. We're going to get our heads together and have a chat. So if you have some ideas or thoughts about the things that CIAVA should be doing on your behalf, who should we be talking to, what should we be arguing about, etc., etc., drop us a line. Direct to Morris. He's the secretary, and he'll put them on the agenda, and we can have a chat about them, and maybe bring some people in to give us their thoughts to back up what they've said. So we'll just see how that goes. Now, Frank, you're organising something for a whole bunch of shipmates or something. What's going on there?
Yeah, we've got our class that joined in 19th of January 1965. We decided to have a get-together farewell to us all, as most of us are in the late 70s, heading on now. And we've, apart from, I think there's 8 of us left out of our class.
Wow.
And we're still trying to track 3 down. Now, I know this is a good place to do it because being on this broadcast, the number of people who actually ring me and contact me with regards a variety of information. One I had was looking for a missing person, and we actually found them. So
nice.
So I hope I might have success. I'm trying to find 3 people who served on HMNZS Blackpool in her commissioning trip to the UK, and they're also in my class.
Yeah.
Greg Knaggs, Keith Walsh, and Ken Beattie. Now, I have not seen these 3 people since we came back from Singapore in 1967. So any information that could lead me to getting hold of them and letting them know we're going to have a bit of a reunion, And even if we do find out that they have crossed the bar, at least that'll be something that we can put up on our pages.
Yep.
So if anyone knows us, any of those people, this is CS 82. We were continued service number 82 in the Royal New Zealand Navy, 1965.
And I see you've established a Facebook page too for the Blackpool Free.
Yes, I've had quite a few people talking about it. She was in New Zealand on limited loan from the Royal Navy from 1966 through to 71. I was fortunate enough to fly to the UK on a Royal New Zealand Air Force Hercules number 03, which is still flying these days. So it's done some good miles. And I was served on her twice when she was commissioned, and then again just before she went back to the UK. I was hoping to go back to the UK with her to pick up the Canterbury, but they decided I need another flight in the Air Force Hercules, and they posted me up to Singapore.
Oh, terrible.
It was terrible. But no, she was a good ship, a very good ship, one of the fastest frigates that were ever built. She was very light, very fast. It's the old HMNZS Blackpool F-77, the Fighting 77.
So quite infamous as being the for the crew anyway, the ship you sailed on, you were awarded the NZOSM and then it was taken back.
Yes, that's correct.
That's worse than getting a Clayton's medal, goodness me.
Yeah, but the thing about it though, they decided that because they'd done such a devious move, that we could keep everything we had, except the medal.
Oh, did you get a certificate of appreciation and a lapel bag?
Yes, I got all those. Yep.
Oh, well, my goodness.
Yeah, and it's funny, when they reissued the New Zealand Operational Service Medal, I thought, oh, well, they'll have mine sitting in Wellington. So I wrote to them. I said, don't bother printing me another medal, just send my other one back. I ended up getting two.
Well, there you go. You see, there's absolutely no problems with the award of Magdallic recognition for your service in New Zealand. It just happens quite smoothly. And there you go. It's amazing. So not only once, but twice. And given it back.
Well, they're not getting these ones back.
So sorry, carry on.
I put one on a board and glued it. So
the other thing that popped out, I think it was out of last week's video, I made mention of someone who had been qualifying operational service in the queue for a specialist appointment, and at the last minute they pulled that and tried to poke them in through the health system, the existing health system. And there was a comment I noticed under the video last week that's happened to someone else. So I'm just wondering how widespread that is amongst the former services community, where as part of what would appear to be some austerity measures, vans are trying to move you into the public health system as opposed to paying for, I think they used to pay for quite a bit of private consultation and so on with people. So just be aware that it's happening. And if you're one of the recipients of those wonderful things, drop us a line. Can be, a private message or whatever, just helps inform the picture. So when we have an opportunity to have a face-to-face discussion with Minister Pink, we might be able to get him on here. Who knows?
That'd be good, yeah.
We'll see what the answers are. But then I guess if we listen to his video, it won't be him. It'll be the CDF that's responsible.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Interesting. Did you notice the gentleman from Veterans Affairs when he was putting out his spiel on Facebook? he said about all these things you could get, but everything was you may be able to get, you may get this, you may get that. You weren't going to get it.
No. So that's the issue with trying to move the veteran community into the public system away from the veteran community system, the VIP processes and things like that. If they're going to the existing government agencies, they're already under strain. So bundling in a whole bunch of former servicemen, it won't make it easy. And just here's an aside. Having a coffee with someone just the other day who tells me that if you think things aren't tough in New Zealand financially, last Saturday, Trade Me, 73 mortgagee sales. October last year, 4.
Holy hell.
So it's starting to bite, folks. It really is. And I'm not going to to rubbish those of you who've gone out and bought electric vehicles. I think, good on you. You've grabbed the new technology. But this guy has spent his life in motor vehicle sales and so on. Quite an intelligent chap. He was explaining that in Australia, one of the Mercedes dealerships no longer accepts Teslas as a trade-in because they have zero value. There you go. So that's just a little bit of stuff I'm throwing in there, lighten the mood. So don't rush out and buy a Tesla. As I understand it, Musk drove down the prices of the new ones to get them into the marketplace to sell more, and that's had an ongoing consequence for those who own electric vehicles. It's devaluing them like there's no tomorrow, especially if you've got a Tesla. So if you want to buy a Mercedes, trade in a Mercedes. There you go. Okay, so crossing the bar, Frank.
Yes, well, we've got 6 this week.
Okay.
A19228, Wharapuri, Tamaki Kevin, Petty Officer Seaman, Royal New Zealand Navy, joined January 1968. Kevin crossed the bar on the 5th of April 2024, and a funeral has been held for Kevin, and there was a good turnout there of shipmates. NZ 18753, Brown, Richard Bomber, crossed the bar on the 4th of April 2024, and I believe his funeral was today. NZ 10151, Sortain Smith, Richard, RNZN, World War II, joined as a boy seaman, 2nd class, crossed the bar on Tuesday, the 2nd of April 2024, just short of his 96th birthday. At his family's request, there has been a private cremation. NZ 17359, Solid, Paul Lewis, leading cook, Royal New Zealand Navy, crossed the bar at his home in Ruatoria on the 7th of April 2024. His funeral and service will be held tomorrow at 11 a.m, followed by a burial at Korakota Urapa, Kaihutahi. That must be over Ruatoria way. PJX 889807, Hughes Peter, Torpedoman, Submariner, Royal Navy, crossed the bar. His funeral for Peter has been held. NZ 13214, David Judge, Seaman Boy, Royal New Zealand Navy, Korean veteran, crossed the bar Sunday the 7th of April 2024, and at David's request there is a private funeral. Thank you. Condolences to all the families and whānau of those sailors.
Thank you, Frank. So there's only a couple that I can glean for today for the Army. So 37302, John R. Snow Collins, NZSAS, aged 96, passed away on Saturday, the 30th of March. John served in the original SAS squadron, November 1955 to November 57 in Malaya. Eric Doherty, NZ Regiment, passed away on the Thursday, 4th of April, so I think that's last week. And Eric enlisted in the regular force on the 1st of August 1957 on a 3-year engagement for service in the Far Eastern Land Forces. He served in 1 NZ Regiment Headquarter Company, 57 to 59. And this one's a bit closer to home for myself. Taunarangi Sheehan. So the wife of a Malayan vet. She was the past president of the Canterbury branch of the New Zealand Malayan Veterans, and was also a local support advisor for the Christchurch RSA for a considerable number of years. She passed away on Friday morning, and her funeral is tomorrow at 2 o'clock at the Kaiapoi Cemetery. So, and so we echo the words of Frank. For those of you who've lost family members, we offer our condolences, and we also, if we are here if you need some kind of assistance to negotiate with vans, whatever it is, or to hook you into the RSA support system to help you going into the future. Nothing from the RNZAF today, so that's about us. Frank, thank you for your time. I hope the rest of the week is a good one, and we'll be in the same place, I guess, next week.
Exactly.
And just one of the other things that's popping up, I think I mentioned a few weeks back that I attended the National Council in Wellington, and they were looking at the future of the RNZ RSA and how that's all going to work. So the affiliates groups, so those like the ex-naval communicators and ourselves and the RNZA and the cadet units and whomsoever else, the SAS Association and so on and so forth, they're having a meeting next Wednesday, April the 17th, online, and they're going through a similar process, but there won't be there'll be totally different set of questions, because the RNZ RSA is coming to realise that while RSAs are talk about being closely associated with the veterans, the affiliates are those who have got nothing else to do but focus on their membership, who are all former servicemen and women, and there are no associates or club members or whatever. So we're kind of quite like the very pure original RSAs. So that's us. Anytime you have something to to vent about, don't be backwards in coming forwards. I've noticed that ex-servicemen are never backwards in coming forwards in these occasions. Let us know what's on your mind, what's bothering you. Give me a yell, and if you think it's something we need to take up with either the hierarchy of the RSA, Veterans Affairs, Minister of Defence, Minister of Veterans Affairs, let us know. We'll see what we can organise. Thank you for your time, and have a good week. Be safe. Don't forget, as John Forrest used to say, pick up the phone and ring those you know. Have a quick chat, make sure they're A-OK. Had a phone call like that today from a guy. Picked up the phone, gave me a ring. I happened to be on a bus travelling, and we had a 10 or 15 minute conversation. He was just making sure I was not falling off the planet or the top of my head, and still able to do the work for SEVA. So there you go. That's about it. Thank you, Frank, and we'll leave you to get on with the day.
We will.
And
See you all next week.
Yeah, and best of luck with the Blackpool Facebook page.
Thank you.
All righty. We'll see you all